Hi everybody, I'm Sarah Kuhl with Kuhl Makeup, and today I have my guest Maya. We're on a film shoot, and I'm going to put plaque psoriasis on her face as special effects. So what I do first is I tone the skin in the area to kind of allow it to be a clean space, and then I put a little bit of Aide on top of that, and that's an adhesive if you're unfamiliar with it. So I'm going to put a little bit of the aide in the area that I want it, just so it sticks. And then on top of that, I'm going to move this around with a Q-tip, just to kind of pat it up, kind of get it tacky. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to do a little bit of the scar material. So I'm just using Rcma scar material. And put it a little bit in a little thing. So, ooh, it stinkies. Can you smell it?
Ooh. Yeah, it smells.
All right, so I'm gonna use some of to give it a blister effect. Okay. So it'll give it like a raised effect. I just spilled a little on your shirt, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You should have a cape over in case it was wardrobe, then I'd be in super big trouble. And I'm just kind of building up a little couple of spots so it looks kind of blistery. Because on top of that, I'm going to put 3rd degree. Have you ever had this done, Maya?
I've never had plaque psoriasis on my face, no.
That's good. You're lucky, you know, that you don't really have this.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to, can you get in there and see how it bubbles it up a little bit? Okay, so I'm going to do that. Let it dry a little bit. A blow dryer would be fan-freaking-tastic right about now. Okay, and then I'm going to mix, while that is drying, I'm going to mix 3rd degree. So one of them is the catalyst and one of them is the silicone. And what I do, it's a 50-50 mix. So I'm going to mix these with a palette knife. And I'm going to scoop a little bit. And you just need a little bit. A little bit goes a really long way, okay? So I just do that, and then I mix the B, and you just do a 50-50 mix of each. Like that.
Whoops.
Okay? And then you just kind of mix them together, and you want it to kind of solidify. Okay, and then when you do that, you palette it onto the face. See how the face kind of bubbled up? You see how it's a little bit like scar-like?
Sarah Kuhl, we have any touch-up for Gregory here. He's going to go next.
I can powder him, yeah. Yep. Okay, is your finger in the way? Up here. And then, so this right here, I'm just kind of paleting it on and just kind of moving it around so it has a little bit of texture. And kind of making edges with it. Turn your head towards the light. See? Can you see that better? Mm-hmm. Awesome. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of 99% alcohol, and it will blend out the edges. I shouldn't do that. So put the alcohol in this little thing. And then just blends out the edges. So when it does that, it gets rid of any raised area. Oh shit, my bad. Okay. And I'm gonna just use my finger and kind of to give it a little bit of texture. But are you laughing? Okay, so that's what it looks like. I'm gonna use a small brush. Will you pause real quick? I'm using some of the brushes. Just use some construction brushes so you're not ruining your good brushes. And you can just get these at like Michael's or something. You don't have to spend a lot of money on brushes, especially when it's doing special effects and you're getting goo and stuff like that on there. So what I'm doing is like giving it texture so it's raised in some areas. And this takes like 5 to 10 minutes to dry. Okay. There. Okay, go ahead and pause. Yeah, zoom in and then pause. Are we recording? Awesome. Hi. Okay, so I'm gonna throw a little more scar tissue on top of her, on top of the 3rd degree, just to kind of give it a little bit more bubbly. So it looks a little more blistery and nasty. Yeah, thank God that you don't have this in real life, right?
Yeah.
Miss Maya, how long have you been acting?
I've been acting since I was 6, I think.
Oh,
like 8 years.
Yeah, a long time.
wow. In Hollywood, that's like ancient, right? You're like, you're already playing somebody's mom. All right, so we're gonna let that dry for a second. And then I'm gonna mix together a little paint. I have my paint palette. It's the Skin Illustrator, and it's alcohol activated. You need the alcohol instead of watercolor because the material, if you use watercolor on top of it, it'll just slide right off. So you need the alcohol palette. I am gonna shut this because this stinks. And then where are my brushes? There we go. I'm gonna use the alcohol and mix, and I'm gonna do a little bit of red. I'm gonna mix some red so it's a little bit deeper, but I don't wanna like paint it opaque. I just kinda wanna like tap it on and have like sparse areas of it. It's all dry. Oh, that's a good flaky one. Looks like scab. See, but it came off. All good. So see, just kind of sparse areas. And like in those crevices, try to get in there. I usually get darker color in those kind of crevices, just kind of so it looks deeper. And you want to get it little sparse areas. Another one of my scabs fell off. That's nasty. That's nasty. Okay, I'm just painting it. Then I'm gonna go in with a little bit of white so it looks a little more scabby after the red. How's it look on camera? Is it gross? Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna use white.
Looks like it hurts.
Yes. I'm gonna use the white. So I'm gonna do these, the white on top of like those edges so it looks scabby. And kind of ashy.
No, acne doesn't feel so bad.
I know, right?
Like acne, like nothing.
Counting your blessings, huh? That's for sure. Oof. That just kind of like reminded me of pus. I sent a picture of what we did yesterday to one of my boys, and he was like, I had to delete that. That was so nasty. I was like, good, that's a compliment then. It looks realistic. Okay, so look in the mirror. We turn, yeah. So. I feel like there should maybe be like a hint of green in there, just to kind of give it that. So I'm going to do a little bit of that with the alcohol and do a little bit of the green. I'm going to do a little bit of the darker, mix that darker with that green so it's not so Kermit the Froggy green. On your hand, yeah. And then I'm going to do that in those. Maybe that was a little too much. All right. And get them on the edges. So I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but that gives it depth. That way it looks like it's deeper and nastier into the skin and more scabbed. If that makes sense. It's like creating that shadow illusion. So when you create shadow, it creates depth. And that way, same with like contouring. When you're contouring, you're putting darker colors on to give that definition. So let me see in the thing. I'm going to blend that out a little bit because I don't want it to be that dark. So I'm going to lighten it up with a little bit of the red. Which one did I use for the red? Which brush are you? I have no idea. Oh, was it this one? No, where's the red brush? Hold, please. Commercial. Okay, so I'm just going over it a little bit with the red so it's not so dark to lighten it. Okay. And I'm just going over those white areas too with a little bit of the red so it's not so like pristine white. Oh. All right. That looks funky. Do you guys like it? Did it do a good job?
Cool.
All right. Okay. So thank God Miss Maya does not have this issue with her skin because that would just be terrible. But there are people that have this. So unfortunately, you know, this is a real thing. But what we're doing here is wanting to create it to use on a movie set that we're doing. We're shooting a sizzle reel. So this side is going to be gorgeous and beautiful. And this side is like, ah! So we're going to finish up. I'll show you the final product in a little bit once we're done with that.